Hello YouTube, this is Thompson Airways 737. Some of you may also know me as Adam. Either way, you can call me Thompson Airways 737 or Adam, whatever you please to do. So basically, yeah, you'll be watching this video most probably because you're interested in how to build a model airport. Whether it be because you're such an amateur, you don't have a clue what materials to buy or anything, or whether it be that you're just trying to look to get a few hints and tips for the project that you're working on currently, or project that you've got that you might want to add a few things in, or a future project that you're looking to do. Now, to start off with, I'll just give you a quick rundown of what you'll need on this first episode. So basically, as you can see on the screen, on the actual video, there are two aircraft. They are both the same aircraft, both 767-300s. One is a Condor passenger aircraft. The other one is a DHL cargo aircraft. Now, like I say, they are the same aircraft, apart from one's a passenger version, one's a cargo version. And obviously different liveries, different airlines. So yeah, these two aircraft are by Gemini Jets. Gemini Jets offer a wide range of 1/400 scale models and 1/200. 1/200 scale, if you do want to do 1/200 scale airport, then by all means do, but it will mean maybe a bit more room than 1/400 or even 1/500. However, Gemini Jets don't make 1/500. If you do want to go over to the 1/500 side, then I'd suggest buying models from such as Herpa. They're probably the most common manufacturer of the 1/500 scale. But this airport will be 1/400 scale. Everything that I say in this video it won't matter what scale you're working with, it'll still work no matter what. So if you wish to go to the 1/500 scale, or even smaller, or even possibly 1/200, then just think that all the information that will be said in these series, you can use that for any scale. Basically, it doesn't matter what scale you're using. All this information that I'll be saying will be relevant to you. Obviously, measurements and stuff will vary depending on your scale, which you'll have to sort of figure out for yourself, or I can always help you with that if you are stuck on how to work it out. So basically, these two aircraft are for the purpose of actually getting everything, sort of the measurements correct, and sort of along the lines of what you're doing. So I had a plan in my head, and so far it's going pretty well. I've drawn out sort of more or less the basic outlines. This is going to be sort of like an intermediate airport. It's going to be sort of like based on regional/international airport, because basically what it is, these three stands here are going to be cargo. They may be used for passenger aircraft as well, such like this, because they are 767 size. And then down here will be up to 757 size, up to 757-200, which are these two. As you can see, one has winglets and one doesn't. That's just an added extension to the wings that the manufacturer created to make the aircraft more efficient during flight. Not all airlines have fitted them. There's quite a few airlines. As you can see, this model doesn't have them, but this one does. These are also Gemini Jets. Not all my models are Gemini Jets. Just to go through a few names, there's Gemini Jets, Phoenix, Aero Classics. They're sort of like the top brands of the 1/400 scale. Well, as I say though, these models are purely just to help plan out the actual layout itself. So just to give you a quick tour on on what materials will be used to start off with. This is an MDF board. this entire board is MDF. It's 6mm thick. You can go with 3mm if you wish. 9mm probably maybe a little bit too thick. You probably don't need that. If you are on a budget, if you prefer to go with something stronger, then go with 9mm. But in the middle is 6mm, which I'd probably recommend out of the three thicknesses. This is also measuring 5 foot by 3 foot. So obviously the length is 5 foot and 3 foot for the sort of like width. So just to give you a tour of the actual layout I'm going to be doing. Here we have the runway. You might be able to see like an L shape. That's the corner of the runway. Obviously this is a taxiway here. We come down the runway. So obviously this is the start of the runway. This is where the threshold will be. Obviously you'll have the numbers as well. Then all the markings down. Obviously it's going to be a part of an airport. So you're not going to have another threshold here. It's going to sort of think of it as like a continuous runway, but it's had to be cut off. Also, we've got another taxiway here from the runway to the main taxiway. Now, this taxiway is basically where the ramp will be. So the planes taxi along here, and then they'll taxi onto the stand, to whichever stand they're allocated to. Straight. So basically, it is a pretty small airport. It is. It's going to be based in Britain. It's going to be sort of like in the Midlands area. Maybe just slightly north of the Midlands or something like that. That's just an idea that I've got in my head. You don't really need to think about location, although it is good to think about location, because if you don't have a specific location, then you can't really focus on what models you'll need. For those of you who know, Allegiant Airlines, which is this, is an American airline. It's got an American registration, but Jet2 Holidays actually have this similar livery, apart from it doesn't say Allegiant, it says Jet2 Holidays, and Jet2 Holidays is British registered. I have been thinking about, I probably will use it for Jet2 Holidays at some point. Like I say, to think about a location is probably better to not think about one, because then you know what models to get for the actual airport. It sort of becomes a bit unrealistic when you've got airlines from sort of all over the world. Say if like you had a commuter aircraft from Australia, and then you had a commuter one from the UK. It sort of gets a bit unrealistic in the way that you haven't really thought about what flies to the airport and whereabouts in the world it's going to be. Because obviously you're not going to get a Saab 340 or whatever from Australia to the UK in about a day. It's not really going to happen. But yeah, that's the overall layout. It's pretty basic. Like I said, when we get into it, you'll see it progress and everything. So the outlines on the board I used just drawn with standard pencil. HB pencil will do fine, or just any pencil to be honest. A dish, I use a pretty standard dish, used just for the curves. I think you can use a protractor if you wish, but I think this gives it a bit more of a wider curve and a bit more better for when aircraft are turning off the runway, etc. And obviously the ruler is key, to be honest. I work in inches purely because I just think it's easier. This ruler has centimetres on the other side, but I just think it's a lot better using inches, to be honest. You don't have to use inches, like I say, that's my choice, but I find it easier. Obviously the ruler as well is not just for measurement, it's for actually getting the line straight, making sure each measurement is sort of almost precise, or as precise as possible, basically. So this is basically stage one. You get the board, you get your aircraft on the board, you get your pencil, you sort of figure out how big each bit's going to be, how many stands you want, where the runway is going to be, when the runway is going to start, and all that sort of stuff. You've got to take all that into consideration. To be honest, what I do first is I probably would recommend drawing it on like a piece of paper first, the idea that you've got. Even it doesn't have to be precisely to scale, but you know, at least you've actually drawn the plan out and you've actually thought about it. Even if it means drawing several ideas out, you know, you'll come to a final decision eventually, and you know, think, yeah, that's the sort of one that I want. Obviously then, like say you draw it onto this. The reason why I draw it onto this pure board is because if you draw it on when you've painted it, then it's going to be, to be honest, it probably is going to look a bit of a mess if you've done it wrong and you need to rub out lines. Like here, there's a slight, you might be able to see that on the camera, on the video. There's a faint line where I've rubbed it out because I did it a bit too close. I mean, the width of this is 5 inch, whereas this one is 4 inch. The reason for that is because bigger aircraft will be taxiing onto this for the cargo area sort of thing. You know, when we get more into it, you'll understand what I mean. If you're unsure at the minute, then, you know, so the next stage basically will be to paint the actual base. Once everything is drawn out and complete, there will be I will be going through this step by step. So obviously, you know, you won't really miss anything important. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video to start off with. This is basically like the introduction video. If you wish for me to actually mention anything in the next video, then please comment. If you have any questions regarding what I've said in this video, then please ask me, whether it's via private message or in the comment section below the video, or even if it's publicised on a forum or something, and if I'm a member, then, you know, by all means comment on there as well. But yeah, for those of you who have watched this video or are watching, even if you just bothered to click on the video and just think, oh, I wonder what this is about, then thanks for watching. You know, just as well, you don't actually have to watch the video. You can actually just listen to what I'm saying if you wish. Obviously, when I'm painting and I'm actually showing you how to apply the paint, then I probably suggest watching, you know, and that sort of stuff. As it is now, I just want to say, if you have watched the whole video, thank you very much, and hopefully you'll enjoy this series and maybe learn a few things from it. You know, I've learned things in the past as well, you know, to get to this stage, in terms of model airport making sort of thing. So, just want to say, once again, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this, and stay tuned for the next episode. That's all for now. I'll see you later. Bye.